I'll run and warn the director.
No, Doctor, our priority is to save O'Sullivan. Go ahead through the visitors' corridor and see if he answers your call.
Useless. This door is blocked by the timer, but not the one below. Give me the keys, quickly.
No, that's Hans. That's Hans. Don't give him the keys. Don't you hear the accent? See? But this is not smart.
I've got the keys, Doctor. Thank you.
This is a real adventure. It's exciting. I like it better than made-up stories. I want to know what happens next. Keep reading. I'm going to.
Good. Yeah, be patient.
Oh, I want to listen to. My readers must excuse me if I do not describe in full detail here the terrible images which haunted me that night.
I had a sense that something extraordinary would take place, but I was scarcely prepared for the reality of it.
Do tell me more. The next day at
Good
dawn.
morning, Holmes. Did you get any rest?
I did not attempt to sleep.
Have you managed to come to any conclusions?
I think that we might follow 3 trails. We can visit Whitechapel to try to discover the identity of the murderers by making inquiries at Dispensary 4661 and at the Whitechapel Street Cemetery.
The poison trail seems more important to me. We should perhaps go to Westgate Prison first to see Hans Schielman.
Yes, and let us not forget the bishop's irascible nephew, whose address we now have, thanks to my Baker Street irregulars.
Do I
have
to choose?
located each place on our map of London.
I think I do.
Holmes, let me remind you that we still have not been officially instructed to investigate this affair.
That's true.
Ah, well, we will just have to
Small
hide
detail.
that small detail.
Alright, so 3 possible... where's my map? Oh, I need to do maybe my inventory. 3 possible locations I can go to and 3 leads I can follow. I don't know how to get this to work, honestly. So I can go to the gardens, I can go to Whitechapel Street or the jail. And I don't know if it matters which I have to do. I think Watson said go to figure out the poison thingy first, so maybe that would be smart. Would it matter? I've looked it up and people online say it does not matter what order you choose. I guess Watson just gave us his 2 cents on what he would do. So feel free to choose whichever option you like. Oh, this is new. First class chemist, it was the bisulfate of barita. What does that mean? Deduction apprentice, to a great mind nothing is little. You completed the first deduction board. So... I think we will do what Watson said and follow the trail of poison before we do anything else.
Westgate Prison.
I don't know if it matters.
Here we are
but
at the
it might.
famous Westgate Prison, one of the oldest and surest in the kingdom.
I've heard that it is soon going to be demolished. Don't you find it strange that it still houses criminals as dangerous as Hans Schielman?
There's nothing strange about it, Watson. The name of this prison is linked with numerous failed escape attempts. As long as it stands, the criminals will fear it.
Good morning, gentlemen. Are you expected?
Not really.
No, but we wish to meet with one of your prisoners, Hans Schielman.
I'm afraid that at the moment that is impossible. Access to the cells is controlled strictly. You can't go there without permission from the director.
Then would you be so good as to announce us? I am Sherlock Holmes, and this is Dr. Watson.
The famous Holmes and Watson. What an honour. My name is Brighton. Frank Brighton. I'm afraid I can't announce you. I'm not allowed to leave my post, under any circumstances.
Don't you
But
have
I'm
a
sure
phone?
that the director won't refuse to see you, even without an appointment. Do you see the corridor behind the reception? Follow it to the secretary's office. You'll find him there.
Thank you, Warden Brighton. One last thing. Hans Schielman received any visits lately?
None. And I'm sure because I've dealt with receiving visitors for several weeks now. I volunteered because it's a calm post to be in. We don't get many visitors and it gives me time to write. Just like you, Dr. Watson. I enjoy literature and the...
Very good. Thank you.
I was like, Sherlock doesn't have time for this.
Impolite, Holmes. That man admires our work. You could have given him...
Another time. Let's go and meet the director of the prison.
Yeah, Sherlock doesn't care about being polite. Alright, what I was thinking, do they not have telephones yet? I don't know when that was invented. This is 1890 something? Let me see, can I just go in this door? What is this? Maintenance.
Cleaning materials, otherwise known as a broom cupboard. Nothing of interest here.
Then why do I have a hand?
Closed.
Alright. Why is my music this exciting?
Sorry, but this area is prohibited without a pass. Please leave.
We must see the prison director quickly.
Quickly? Why? But did he say administration? I think he did. I must admit, I wasn't listening that well. A lot of doors here. Entryway. Cloakroom. Another cloakroom. Secretary? Maybe?
Let us go to the secretary's office.
Alright.
We must...
Controls aren't that great. Because I have to click first and then I have to use WASD to choose what I want to do. She's asleep.
Good morning, miss.
Oh, excuse me, I dropped off. Good morning, gentlemen. What can I do for you?
I am Sherlock Holmes, and this is Dr. Watson. We would like to talk to the director.
I'll just go and see if he can receive you.
Please do.
Tiredness, pale face, stiffness. I believe that the young lady is expecting a happy event.
It would seem so.
Aha, so she's preggy. Of course, Dr. Watson would know that. But why do I need to know that?
This charming secretary is Miss Jenny Patterson.
This small rack is for urgent letters to be given immediately to the director.
Suddenly Watson is gone.
Hot tea.
Really, that music is a bit unnecessary. It's not that exciting.
The director's office, Mr. P. Patterson. No need to go in there.
Wait, do they have the
Strange.
same last name?
The director and the secretary have the same name.
So they're husband and
I'm
wife.
delighted to meet you, Mr. Holmes. I am Paul Patterson, director of this establishment. You wish to talk to me? I hope this unexpected visit isn't to announce bad news.
No, do not worry. We are investigating an affair of the highest importance, one which could potentially affect the security of the kingdom. Therefore, it is imperative that we interview one of your prisoners, Hans Schielmann.
Hans, the rat killer. He's been in here for a long while now, and he's had no contact with the outside. How could he be involved in such an affair?
That is what we would like to find out.
And you have been commissioned by Scotland Yard?
Evidently.
Evidently.
Very well. I have complete confidence in you, Mr. Holmes. I will draw up a pass that you should give to Warden James in the guardroom. He will show you to the cells.
Already been there.
Thank you, Director.
Keep me informed of your progress. And if there is anything else, don't hesitate to let me know.
We shall certainly do so.
Family ties, I can ask her. I have
Miss
to.
Patterson, you have the same name as the director. Are you related?
Come, Watson. Anyone who might have made the slightest study of anthropology would have noted the similarities between the young lady and her father.
Mr. Holmes is right, I am his daughter, but he doesn't like to talk about it. I think he's afraid of being accused of favoritism.
I'm sure it was your qualities alone which secured you this position, miss.
If you must try out your powers of seduction, then what do you say about using them on the rat killer?
I agree with that. He's kind of sucking up this Watson.
Goodbye, miss.
Goodbye, gentlemen.
But how are they... Do they see that they are related? That man was way shorter than her. They don't look alike at all. Well, let's go back. How did I run? I forgot. Oh, like this. don't want to check out every door because I think that's just a waste of time.
Sorry, but this area is prohibited without a pass. Please leave.
Oh, I thought I needed to be here, but I guess not. Do I maybe need to walk in like this? Maybe that will work.
Ah, you've got a pass for the high security area. It's the door at the end. Go ahead.
Alright, I keep forgetting to do that. So that was it. It was very
It is about
easy.
the signing in book. This information board is almost empty. Strange, in view of the activity in the prison.
What do you mean by activity?
My name is Peter James, Chief Warden, and this is Deputy Warden O'Sullivan.
I imagine I will find Hans Schielman behind these bars in the basement.
Yes, the high security cells are down there.
Is this the only access?
Yes, there was a second door at the end of the main hall, but it's been blocked up as a security measure.
Thank you, Chief Warden.
At your service. If you require further information, Warden Mackenzie will help you. He's at his post in the basement.
The great detective, do you mean yourself? Way to be modest.
Mr. Holmes, I am a huge admirer of yours. I have followed all your cases and successes with the greatest interest.
Thanks so much.
What enthusiasm. Have you ever thought of a career in the police force?
Have I thought about it? It's my dream. And I'm going to try my chance once this establishment closes down. I'm studying hard for the examination to get into police school.
Inmates.
Tell me about the prisoners, Warden James.
We only have a few. As you might be aware, the days of this place are numbered. Therefore, we no longer receive new prisoners. Those who are already here are among the most dangerous in London. We have 3 at the moment.
3?
Hans the Rat Killer and the Flint Brothers.
The Flint brothers.
Yes, 2 rather simple-minded maniacs who detest one another despite their relation. They massacred their parents and decapitated their neighbours. It took more than 9 policemen to overpower them.
They look a bit aggressive.
There isn't any information on the notice board. Should there be notes about duties?
Yes, there should be, but Miss Patterson hasn't put up the guard's assignments for this week yet. It's not like her. Usually she does it first thing in the morning. Without these instructions, the guard in the basement won't be changed. I would go and get them, but I don't want the director to catch me there. He's very strict. Doesn't like us wandering around when we're on duty. And it would get his daughter in trouble. He's not being very pleasant with her at the moment, and I don't want to make things worse.
That's nice of you. Sounds like you know her a bit better than just a colleague.
How does not having the information about guard duty stop you from ensuring the watch in the basement?
Because of the system of opening the doors, Mr. Holmes. As you can see, they are equipped with a mechanical timer which answers to a code. When the timer stops, that is to say at the end of each watch, the doors block automatically and the code is reset. It is therefore impossible to open the doors without the new code.
And who has the code?
Only the guard who takes the new watch. He's the only one who can open the envelope that it's kept in. He learns it by heart and destroys the message.
Very clever. But let's look at the limits of this procedure. One false note and the system falls apart.
Goodbye.
See you later, Mr. Holmes.
So I can go there, or can I? I don't know. Whoops. Oh, this is how I open it. Oh, alright. I just pressed a random letter on my keyboard. I can go there, alright, but I want to check out the rest.
This device must be the alarm.
Gee, you think?
It is the guard's guest book, perhaps for distinguished guests.
Am I on it? What does he mean, prisoners?
The guards must spend long hours here.
They're not supposed to leave, apparently. I can just go
Here's
here.
the famous high security area.
Warden Mackenzie, at your service, sir.
Good morning, Warden. I have a pass which allows me to speak with prisoner Hans.
Very well. It is the cell at the end to your left. I'd advise you to walk in the middle of the corridor.
Why? What will happen if I don't? Oh, these two brothers are here. Alright. At the end to the left, did he not say? Gee, that music is very distracting. I hope it ends. Monsieur the Red Killer.
Hans Schielmann, I require some information from you.
He's small.
So, who do we have here? The celebrated Sherlock Holmes himself. Do you know that for all the time I have spent rotting in here, you are my first and only visitor?
It's not my fault.
I think this is cause for celebration. A confrontation between two geniuses, two extraordinary minds.
I am afraid that you are not quite as great a chemist as you believe you are, Mr. Schielmann. I will not say that you never were. No, it was certainly true once. But you see, while you are whiling away your days in here, it appears that someone on the outside is at the point of surpassing you, if that is not already the case.
Yes, I heard about that. A chemical poison that eats away at the flesh and provokes hysteria. I recognize talent when I see it, but it's only a matter of time before I win back my laurels. Believe me.
Tell me
What
more.
can you tell me?
That depends on what you can bring to me.
No poison. Information. But what do I want to share with this man? I don't know.
What do you want?
Do you know why I am treated so harshly? For my meals, I am given nothing but a hunk of bread. And even then, not just any sort. The...
Get to the point.
Never interrupt me! Where was I? Oh yes, the bread. Did you know that with a little rye yeast, a pinch of moss, certain cockroach secretions, just enough light and damp, with a few other ingredients that I will keep quiet about, I succeeded in poisoning half the staff here.
I believe you.
Unfortunately, a little something was omitted, which would have made the results fatal. Instead, it merely caused acute attacks of stress and powerful hallucinations. Even so, I got a great laugh out of watching them cry like babies when they saw their most primitive fears materializing before them.
Such a nice man.
You are a monster, Mr. Schielmann.
His eyes.
It
Thank
wasn't
you.
a compliment.
But of course it was! You others, you ordinary, narrow-minded people, you are afraid of anything that you cannot comprehend. You call me a monster because what you find impossible to face is just the slightest fraction of my genius. If by monster you mean someone who is nothing like you, then it is a compliment.
Well, that is kind of what he means. He is a little wacky.
What do you need?
Very little. Just something to write with. You see, my brain races like an engine with too many thoughts. I see them crackle and explode into thousands of formulae right in front of me. What a torture not to be able to write them down. What a hell to see them vanish just as quickly as they appear to me. Just bring me something that I can write with.
That's
I
all.
don't buy it.
That seems an easy enough request to fulfill.
But listen, I don't want a vulgar inkwell and a pigeon's feather. No, I need material fit for my talent. I want my ink pen. Bring it to me, and I will be happy to pass on to you a little of my knowledge of modern chemistry.
Where is it?
It was confiscated upon my arrival here.
Oh, I know where
I
it is.
suppose it might be in my locker, in the locker room. Leave me now, and don't come back without my ink pen.
I can only say goodbye.
See you soon, Mr. Holmes.
I don't think it's smart to give him that, because I think he can use the ink to maybe make a bomb or an explosion and escape, because I don't believe that he will just use that to write. Can I do something with these two? I don't think so. I can speak with them.
Hey, brother. Lucky for you that they caught you before I rearranged your dirty little rat's face.
They seem nice. Do you want to speak with you?
Warden McKenna.
Nope. I guess I just have to go get that pen then. I don't think it's smart, but I kinda have to. Also makes you appreciate the internet, right? When you can just look stuff up instead of being extorted by a criminal like this. This way, but it was locked.
Closed.
Closed. So how do I do that? Do I maybe need to ask Missy, the secretary?
We must...
Watson, get out of my way.
Miss, may we borrow the keys to the locker room?
You will need authorization from the director to open that door. If you wait a moment, then I will inform him.
We will wait, thank you.
That was quick.
Anything new, Mr. Holmes? Is
Oh,
your
did I already get
investigation
it?
advancing?
Oh, maybe not.
Mr. Holmes, have you been able to get what you wanted from our lodger?
Not yet. We must first cast light upon a crucial point, and for that we require your help again.
What can I do?
Sherlock has a way of making things look better than they are.
We need to examine Shieldman's civilian clothing.
Very well, but be extremely careful.
What do you mean?
In that madman's compartment, you will find a strange little coded case which refused point blank to open when he was incarcerated. We did try to force it, but without success.
I think it's a puzzle.
Didn't you ask the experts?
Of course we did. Experts from Scotland Yard came to examine it, where they came to the conclusion that it was better that the case remained shut than tamper with it too much.
I see. They were afraid that some poison or other might escape if it was opened.
That is likely.
Exactly. Bear in mind that this man is an evil genius, a master poisoner, and that his poisons are never ordinary.
Keys?
Here's the key to the locker room. I give you the authorization to open it.
Thanks so much.
Good. Thank you, Mr. Patterson.
Miss Patterson, the guards are still waiting for you to put up the duty list. Do it as soon as possible. Without it, the changing of the guard cannot take place. Or had you forgotten?
Aww. Are you emotional?
Dry your tears, miss. I'm certain that your father didn't mean to hurt you.
Mr. Watson, I can't put up the duty list. And when he finds out, he'll be furious.
Why can't you?
It's in my locker, in the cloakroom, and I've lost the key.
Your aunt.
Say no more, Holmes. As you keep repeating, time is against us. Let's go and look at the things in the rat killer's locker.
Wait, aren't we gonna help her? I thought that is what Watson wants to do. Because he's a gentleman and Sherlock doesn't really care about these things. Unless he gets something from it.
Closed.
Alright, I have to do this again. Where is it? Let me see. Shieldman.
Here is the
that's what I
locker of
need.
our friend, Hans, the mad scientist.
The mad scientist. That looks like a puzzle.
What a jumble.
This solid box must hold a precious object. Let us see.
Use. What's this? As soon as the catastrophe came to be known, the alarm from Aftermath was blown, and the cry rang out all. I don't know what it said. The town? All over? Good heavens, the Tay Bridge is blown down, and the passenger train from Edinburgh, which filled all the people's hearts with sorrow and made them for to turn pale, because none of the passengers were saved to tell the tale. Our disaster happened on the last Sabbath day of 1879, which will be remembered for a very long time.
A poem. in Hans's handwriting.
The goal of this puzzle is to open this box. Now, how do you do this? You have the letter I just read, an empty sheet, and a magnifying glass. Use the magnifying glass on the empty sheet and you'll see it has little holes in it, 4 to be exact. Use the tool next to the magnifying glass to make the holes bigger. Now you'll see letters. They are C-A, B-R, S, and H. Enter these into the box and it's as easy as that. Did I do it right?
Perfect.
Perfect, he says.
What is written on that note, Holmes?
Later, Watson, later.
Why later?
We can give Hans his pen.
I can't even read the note. Alright, now what? Not much we can do here. Do we need to help the secretary maybe? Watson, get out of my way. Come on. Don't be annoying.
What a bunch of incompetents. Oh, if I was as unprofessional as that, there would be murderers running all over the town.
What are you talking about?
What's the matter? Are you a patient of Dr. Watson?
Very amusing.
I was going on about the dry cleaners in Westgate Street. They've just delivered my ceremonial uniform in the middle of my duty, when I've told them 1,000 times not to bring it until after 6 in the evening.
That's
A
suspicious.
ceremonial uniform? You've been promoted?
No, and that's not about to happen. No, I've been invited to a wedding. I mean, I hope to be. I'm in trouble. If the director sees that I've left my post, I'll be sacked without pay.
Give it to me, Warden Brighton. I'll take care of it for you.
Really? Thanks a lot. Here's the key to the cloakroom and that of my locker. I'm really grateful, Mr. Holmes.
So
What
this
have
is
you
how we
got in
can help
mind,
the little
Holmes?
lady.
You're not doing this out of kindness, are you?
No, out of curiosity. We will be able to access the cloakroom with these keys.
That does sound kind though, because we're gonna help the secretary. Let's see. Is this the schedule? No.
Here is Brighton's locker.
Where is it?
Here is Brighton's locker.
I know, so put it in. Do I need to use this key? Oh, I guess I do. And now I can put it in?
Bicarbonate of soda. Brighton must have an upset stomach caused by stress, without a doubt. The name on the
Another
key is Jenny Patterson. That is interesting.
Yeah, she lost that key, she said.
Bicarbonate of soda.
That is weird. Is he maybe the baby's daddy?
Miss Patterson's locker.
I have the key. Where is it? Is it this one? I don't know. They all look alike. Guess it is.
Let us examine Miss Patterson's locker.
The lock on this box is rather sophisticated.
Another puzzle.
Incredible. Is Jenny hiding something?
You would think that. So I can put them on these darker spaces, and I think I need to align the colors. And I can turn them now. Like I say, you have to align them in a way they make sense, which means you have to look at the number of dots they have. Red has to sit next to red and green next to green. It's not that hard, it just takes a little patience. Well, unless you don't have a lot of patience, then I guess it is hard. I'll show you my end result. Like this?
It's really very clever. Little Jenny is astonishing.
Little Jenny. My Jenny, let's get married. You're Frankie. Never mind the consequences. Your father will have to accept the fact that we are in love. Think about the baby and don't forget that I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. And I've written you a poem. Jenny Patterson, your heart bounds. My way's done. Our love has no bounds. It just goes on and on. That's not a very creative poem. I was inspired by the great Chinese poets to write it. Be gracious, my honey bun. You're freaky. Brighton.
A letter from Brighton to Jenny. Barely literate.
Apparently, Jenny is carrying Brighton's child, and it seems that Jenny's father, the director, is unaware of this.
Well, maybe he's not. Guard duty list. So this is what I have to give to them.
Here is the famous guard duty list. Interesting.
Why is it interesting? A single heart with two souls in eternal love.
A locket sealing the relation between Jenny and Warden Brighton. Decidedly, this boy is not a great poet.
I don't remember who's Brighton again. Wait, can I see? I am on duty. Brighton, so this is the guard that's in the... that we needed to hang his cloak. Yes. So that is why he has a key then. Should we give it a list while we're here? Why not?
We have found the guard duty cards, miss. If you like, I can go and discreetly give them to the guards.
Oh, thank you. You've got me out of a lot of trouble, Mr. Holmes.
Yeah, but I guess you're in a lot of trouble anyways when your daddy finds out. So, do we also need to tell him that we hung his clothes? I don't know. No, I guess not.
Sorry, sirs. I'm on duty. I can't help you.
And this wedding he's speaking about is at his own. I think it might be. What is it? I don't have it anymore. Wait.
It is about...
Do I need to give it to one of these men?
Sorry, Mr. Holmes, you can't go into the basement for the moment.
Why not?
For what reason?
The door has locked itself automatically. We must enter a new security code.
I have it.
Do it then.
Miss Patterson hasn't put up the guard duty list yet. Without that information, we don't know who's authorised to take note of the new code.
So Mackenzie is locked in the high security zone.
Yes, but don't worry about him. He's trained for this sort of dysfunction.
Why not ask the director to take note of the code and open the door?
He isn't allowed to, and I doubt that he would run the risk of going against the orders of the administration centre. Anyway, the bars in the high security section are joined to the alarm system, which is in that room. We only need to sound it to unblock, but you see we can't do that now.
We'll try to find the duty list, Warden James.
Already have it.
We have found Chief Warden James's duty list.
How quick are we?
Good. Thank you, Mr. Holmes. Let's see. O'Sullivan, it's you who takes over from Mackenzie. Take note of the code, please, and unblock the door.
At once, Chief.
Let's hope nothing happened in the meantime. The guest book?
Ah, Mr. Holmes, could I ask you for a favour?
Please do.
I think I can say on behalf of all the staff that we would be honoured if you would care to write something in our guest book.
With pleasure, O'Sullivan.
So I am kind. Wait, that is not my pen.
You seem worn out, O'Sullivan. A good night's sleep would do you good.
A good night's sleep would do me good. You're right, Mr. Holmes.
Is something worrying you?
As you know, Westgate Prison will soon be demolished, and I'm spending most of my nights studying for my exam to join the police. You understand, I have to think about my future. So sleep isn't a priority at the moment.
Scotland Yard is always looking for young, competent and motivated men. Would a letter of recommendation from me allow you to get some sleep?
How nice.
What? A letter from Mr. Sherlock Holmes recommending me for Scotland Yard? Are you quite serious?
Completely serious, my young friend. May I use this writing paper? The one on your desk.
1,000 thanks, Mr. Holmes. 1,000 thanks.
It is addressed to Inspector Baines, a good friend of mine. There's no need to remind you that it must be opened only by the person to whom it is addressed.
Yes, of course. I'll give it to him personally. Thank you again, Mr. Holmes.
There's more to it. I don't think Sherlock is just doing this.
At your service, Mr. Holmes.
Because he's also using the pen from the red guy. I don't remember his name. Let's look at this. The gunnies.
These weapons are obviously ready to use in case of emergency. It is the guard's guest.
See you soon, Mr. Holmes.
I don't know why you would do all these things. And suspend. Arms. Let's go give it to him and see what happens. Are you alright? Guess you are. Are you gonna go crazy again?
Well,
Your pen. Could I choose not to give it, by the way? I don't think
You
I can.
have what you wanted. Your precious pen.
you seem annoyed, Mr. Holmes. I would even go so far as to say terribly worried.
I am.
Why should you care, Mr. Shielman? Let's talk about that poison.
I am not talking about you in the grip of natural emotions found in ordinary people who are confronted by the inexplicable. But as for Mr. Holmes, you are embarrassed, aren't you? Are you hiding something?
That is enough, Shielman.
You have kept your word. Therefore, I will keep mine. At this moment, the poison which so interests you isn't finished yet. Its maker is encountering great difficulties in attaining the desired results.
How do you know?
What is the end result?
Now, Mr. Holmes, the end result of any science, as Descartes once said, to become the master and owner of nature. Here we are talking about human nature, of course. And the creator's problem isn't so much the mixture as the durability of his creation.
What do you mean?
You see, this poison was made using rare but very volatile short-living compounds, which means that it is only possible to produce small quantities, which most importantly do not keep for a long time. Conceiving such a product in a laboratory especially built for the purpose could be achieved by any good chemist. But recopying this alchemy on another scale and keeping it ready at any moment, observing the particular conservation and storing conditions that a substance of this type requires, well, that would need a genius.
Like you?
I doubt if the creator of this mixture would be capable.
And you would be, of course.
Of course.
Luckily, you are going to spend the rest of your life in prison.
Luckily.
Luck is cyclical. It always comes around again, sooner or later. As far as I am concerned, I have the feeling that the cycle is going to be very short.
See, he has a plan to escape, I knew it. With his pen, no doubt.
Holmes, it sounds to me as though this Shielman is implying that an escape attempt will be made.
Sure
Yes,
does.
we must go and warn the director.
Then why do you turn around like this? Let's hurry! Before it's too late. Would Sherlock run for real? I mean, I know he never existed, but still. Because he's always very calm and relaxed. I think he would still walk like
It is out of the question that your bastard is named
Bastard.
Patterson. Very well. You refuse to reveal the father to me? Well, then go and join him. I'm not stopping you.
so he does know.
I can't.
Director, you will have to postpone this
Family
small
reunion.
family reunion. We believe that a serious scheme is afoot. We must act without delay.
You're not thinking of
Yes, Shielman's words leave no room for doubt. It seems that he is planning an escape attempt. We strongly advise you to search his cell.
Do you really believe that he's hiding something? Because I must make an official report and have a legitimate reason for doing a search.
Director, if this prison is still in operation, it is solely because of its reputation. Think of the consequences of an escape. It would be closed at once. And what post do you imagine would be offered to the person deemed responsible?
You're right. No one will escape from Westgate under Patterson. I will order an immediate search of Mr. Shielman's cell.
What if he
Chief Warden
escapes that
James
way?
reporting. The search of prisoner Hans Shielman's cell has been carried out. No suspicious items were found.
Thank you, Chief James. I feel better now. Without wishing to offend you, Mr. Holmes, I am glad that you were mistaken.
I doubt it.
If I'm not mistaken, we've nothing more to do here. Shall we go, Holmes?
There's just one more thing for me to see, Watson.
There is?
What's that?
Mr. Holmes, sorry to interrupt you, but Miss Jenny wishes to see you alone. She's waiting for you in her office.
This, Watson.
How did you know?
Wait for me in the guards room. I won't be long.
Am I not going to see what you're gonna do?
What an
Suspicious.
extraordinary gentleman that Sherlock Holmes is. You must have had lots of adventures with him.
Oh, yes, dozens.
Thought he was infallible. But there wasn't anything out of the way in the rat killer's cell. Could he have been mistaken?
Doubt it.
I must admit,
Warden Brighton, in my office immediately. That's an order.
the director seems furious.
Yes. It must be important for him to order Brighton to leave his post.
I wouldn't want to be in his shoes.
Did you hear that?
Yes, that's not normal. I've never heard Flint shout like that.
But why doesn't O'Sullivan sound the alarm?
Follow me, Mackenzie. Let's go and have a look.
I'll come with you.
No, Dr. Watson, you're not allowed in. Wait for me here.
I was just
Very
there.
Hey, but the grill is blocked, Chief.
We've been locked in. And that smoke, it's coming from below. O'Sullivan, can you hear us?
Sorry,
Did I not warn
are
you?
you alive? Answer us, Sully.
What's going on? Can I help you?
Sound the alarm in the guards room. That should unblock the door. Be quick. O'Sullivan might be in danger.
It doesn't work.
And now what? I don't know what to do. Do we need to go here?
The door is locked, and I can hear shouting and crying. We're in the middle of some family drama, so there's no chance of them hearing me. I must sound the alarm.
Yeah, I know, but it's not working. And again, he won't walk. Why not? Do I maybe need to speak to you?
Hey, what are you waiting for to sound the alarm, Doctor?
It's impossible. It's been damaged. I'll run and warn the director.
No, Doctor. Our priority is to save O'Sullivan. Go ahead through the visitors' corridor and see if he answers your call.
Very well.
That's
Take
what I
the
needed to
keys.
do.
They're in our room.
Keys are in your room? Oh, here. Suspicious that the alarm is not working, by the way.
It doesn't work.
Useless. This door is blocked by the timer, but not the one below. Give me the keys, quickly.
No, that's Hans. That's Hans. Don't give him the keys. Don't you hear the accent?
It doesn't work.
Useless. This door is blocked by the timer, but
I don't want to give them to you. You are not the guard. Let me speak to them again.
We must get O'Sullivan up from there, Doctor.
So I do have to do that, and he will escape then, because that accent is German and he's not our guard. See? But this is not smart.
I've got the keys, Doctor. Thank you.
Follow me, Watson. We must repair the alarm.
Where have you been?
Finally! There you are, Holmes.
I'm going to turn on the system. Watson, you make sure of the contact.
I hope that this isn't dangerous.
What do I have to do? I don't know. Oh, like this. Oh, like this, I understand.
It works.
Perfect.
It's open. Let's go down.
Be careful. From what your colleague said, the flints are out.
We are trained for this sort of situation. And we're armed.
That
Come and
wasn't your
help us,
colleague.
Watson.
I just know it. But I had no choice. I had to do it.
Everything is back to normal. Thank you for your help, gentlemen.
It was a pleasure.
But where is O'Sullivan?
In the
He's
jail.
no longer here. He must have gone out through the visitor's entrance.
Yes, and he must be pleased to have gotten out of the basement.
Sherlock knows
Good.
what's going on.
We must now check all the cells. It's the procedure in case of an alarm.
We'll come and help you.
You are evidently fond of wasting time, my dear fellow. Rejoin me at the reception when you've finished.
Sherlock already knows what happened. I do too, because the guard is in here. And Hans is gone.
The grate is open. This is alarming. He's fine where he is, under the cover, still.
I will
How
check
can
in.
he sleep with all this noise?
I'll admit it's not normal. Perhaps the smoke has poisoned him. I had better take a look.
Be careful, Doctor. He is dangerous.
No, it's your buddy the guard. And I let him out.
O'Sullivan!
It's impossible. He was with us only a few moments ago.
No, he was not.
Or else...
Or else it wasn't O'Sullivan.
My God, he's escaped. The rat killer has escaped.
Yep, knew that. Now what? You could so clearly hear it from his accent. I don't understand why they all got fooled by this. The director, I think, is what Sherlock is.
The door is locked, and I can hear shouting and crying. We're in the middle of some family drama, so there's no chance of them hearing me.
No, I don't know where to go. Or did Sherlock say I'm at the entrance? Oh, he's right here. Missed him.
Ah, Holmes, there you are. Hans has escaped. I fear that this inquiry is a bitter defeat for us.
Not at all, my dear fellow. Quite the contrary. Follow me.
Why the devil have you brought me behind the prison?
We have an appointment, Watson.
Uh-oh, this is suspicious though. Did Sherlock really help him escape? I hope not. Hey, there's a man here.
Look who is waiting for us.
Oh.
Shielman! I'll go back and alert the guards.
Calm down. He's harmless.
Don't think so.
But what is he doing here? Why hasn't he run away?
Because I asked him not to.
Are you telling me that you helped him to escape?
Quite so, as he wouldn't have been able to do so alone.
But how? And why? He's a dangerous madman. Holmes, you've made me an accomplice in this escape. You owe me some explanation.
That he does.
And you will have them. But my priority for the moment is to remove our new friend to a safe place. I won't be long, but I must go alone. I'll rejoin you later. Just give me your next destination.
Very well. I suppose you know what you're doing.
How could you doubt it? Here, take the notes. They will help you when you write up the account of our visit to Westgate. So, where do I find you?
Oh, I have to choose what to do now. Whitechapel or Kensington? Let me think. Whitechapel was the hospital, and Kensington is where one of the criminals is. What do I want to do first? I don't know.
The next step of our investigation should take place in the Whitechapel area.
Good. Go then, and I'll rejoin you there.
The last minutes of the video are just reading because the game does not explain what happened in person, but via Watson's notes after he had a conversation with Sherlock. If you're curious how Sherlock did it, keep watching, and otherwise, I'll see you in the next one. So when are you gonna explain it to me? Escape from Westgate Prison. Holmes's notes regarding the way that he helped Hans Schielman to escape from prison are so extraordinary that I feel it would be better to transcribe word for word the conversation that we had afterwards regarding this matter. I felt the impatience in my friend's look. However, he delayed relaying to me the details of his incredible achievement. He began by telling me about Hans Schielman's fountain pen. This is what he said. The key to the escape was actually Hans Schielman's fountain pen. I discovered a note inside Schielman's locker. I can quote it to you from memory, because Sherlock has a photographic memory, I believe. Whoever is smart enough to open his case should know that a couple of drops of my masterpiece are mixed together with the ink inside the pen's reservoir. If you are reading this note, it means that I am in a tight spot, so understand that my special ink will temporarily destroy the will of anyone it touches. Therefore, you have a few precious seconds during which you can shape the subject's will. Oh, I understand, because Sherlock made one guard touch a letter or an envelope, I think, or did that go to the inspector? And he wrote in the guest book, so the guards must have touched the ink at some point. If you recognize my genius, use this knowledge to get me out of the embarrassing situation that I am undoubtedly in. Schielman had left this instrument for his future escape inside a case secured by a devious combination. That way he could ensure that none of the prison staff would find it other than a well-informed friend. Understanding this, I decided to play along with him, but with a double game of my own. I would help him to escape, but I would also keep him under control by using his own creation on him. That's smart. I allowed Schielman to commence the game by giving him his pen, and then I started to advance my pawns. My first move was to persuade the director that it was necessary to search the cell. I therefore passed the ball into Schielman's court by giving him the opportunity with Warden James. He did not waste it. He coated the bars of his cell with the poisoned ink, and Warden James, whose hands were contaminated, was under his control for a few seconds. He discreetly and quite simply ordered James to give him the keys. The ball was then back in my court. Now I had to find a way of neutralizing Warden O'Sullivan, who was to be the basement guard, as we discovered when we found Miss Patterson's duty sheet. I must admit that the young warden helped me enormously by asking me to sign the prison's visitor's book. See, told you. Absorbed in the tale, I went over the chronology of the events in my mind. I remarked that Holmes had already signed the visitor's book before giving Schielman his pen. He replied in the most annoyed tone. Exactly, I anticipated it. And it was because of that I managed to get a step ahead in my game with Schielman. I was leading the race, and all the while he believed it to be the other way around. Schielman did not suspect that I had already used his poison, and thought that O'Sullivan's being asleep was a godsend. He therefore was not suspicious about the letter of reference that he found inside the warden's pocket. Holmes then returned to the point at which he had broken from his tale, to point out to me the lack of pertinence to my remark. Wait, is that it? Where's the rest? Oh, here's the rest. I just had to be patient. But do not put the cart before the horse, Watson. Do let me continue. So by merely touching the fresh ink upon the page in the visitor's book, O'Sullivan was under my control. I suggested a state of advanced drowsiness, but ordered him not to do anything immediately, just sufficient for him to be unable to resist a siesta during his guard duty. Later, after the changing of the guard, Schielman used the keys to let himself out of his cell. He hit the sleeping O'Sullivan over the head and exchanged his prison uniform for the warden's. Then he created a smokescreen by using the ingredients that I had given to him. Sugar from Miss Patterson's tea tray, brightened bicarbonate of soda, potassium nitrate from the guard's room, and sulfur from a few matches. But that's why I have the matches. He used the keys again to free the Flint brothers. The two ruffians leapt at each other's throats and made the very dickens of a noise. He had the diversion he needed to leave the high security area. And that is the moment when you entered the game, Watson. Thinking that you were helping O'Sullivan, you allowed Hans Schielman to open the corridor annex bars by throwing him the keys. I knew that, and I told you. On my side, I opened the second lock by turning the alarm on again. In light of Holmes's explanation, I began to see my actions during this episode from quite another angle. I was troubled by the way that he had used me without my having any idea at the time of the duplicity of my actions. I interrupted his monologue to refer to the guards who had not realized what was happening and who were occupied with restraining the Flint brothers. Holmes continued, "Exactly. So there was now only one obstacle in front of Shieldman, Warden Brighton on the reception desk at the front of the building." I interrupted him again. "But it was the director who summoned him so insistently, Holmes. You won't have me believe that he was an accomplice in this escape." "Of course not. I provoked the director's rage towards Brighton." Too impatient, I could not stop myself from asking how. I discovered that Jenny Patterson and Brighton were lovers. Did Watson not know this? I also knew that the director did not have any idea about the affair and that he would surely fall into a foul rage if he found out. I asked him if that was also the reason why Miss Patterson had been summoned. Yes, she knew that I had opened her locker to find the guard duty list, and so she knew that I was aware of her affair with Brighton. She wanted to make sure that I would not say anything. I pointed out that it had been rather unfeeling on his part to have told the director everything, reminding him of his promise to the young woman. He denied it in a somewhat hypocritical manner. I did not say anything. I simply left the lovers' letters inside the urgent correspondence box in the secretary's office, knowing that they would be delivered to him a few minutes later, thereby provoking his anger. Well, that's kind of the same as telling on her. Not literally saying it. The director shouted at Brighton, who rushed off to the secretary's office. Shieldman now had nothing to stand between him and the front door. Another question leapt into my mind, and not the least important one. Why did he not simply run away once he was outside? Why did he wait? Because he touched the ink. I was not disappointed by my friend's answer. It is evident, my dear Watson. If he did not run away, then it was only thanks to that aforementioned step ahead of which I told you. It gave me enough time to write the letter of recommendation for O'Sullivan with the poisoned pen. It was in the pocket of the uniform, and Shieldman could not resist reading it when he found it. But what was written in that letter? Not very much. Just, "Congratulations on your escape. Wait for me here." I gaped at him. And that is how the first, and only, escape from the most inviolable prison in the kingdom came to pass. A scenario which, without doubt, will prove to be the focus of police colleague studies for a long time to come as one of the most extraordinary escapes in the history of modern prison. Well, that is making it a bit theatrical, if you ask me. Did you like this video? Check out my other videos on my page Fun with Miko and don't forget to subscribe.